right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back inside the Thunderdome for some Northmont volleyball action tonight. This should be a lot of fun here on senior night. The Springboro Panthers coming into town to take on our Thunderbolts. I'm Andy Horton here to bring you guys all of tonight's senior night action alongside my man Josh running the camera, making sure things are running all smooth for us. We are getting ready for the starting lineups and all that. So real quick, I'm gonna do a quick sponsor shout out and then we're gonna go right on down to the PA announcer. So real quick, shout out our friends over at the Code Credit Union. One good reason after another to rock with them along with us here on the NM Sports Network all year long. 937-222-8971. Huge shout out to them. And here we go with the PA announcer.
And lifting one another up when times are tough. Those same lessons apply off the court as well. Just like in volleyball, none of us can do it alone. We need to look out for each other, listen, and remind people around us that their lives matter. At this time, I would like to ask everyone in the gym to join me in a moment of silence. We pause to honor those who have been lost to suicide, to support the family and friends who carry their memory, and to renew our commitment to being a community of compassion and hope. Thank you. Tonight, as we cheer, as we compete, and as we celebrate the spirit of the game, let's also make a commitment to carry this message forward. You are not alone, your life has value, and it's always okay to ask for help. This game is dedicated to hope, to courage, and to the strength of community. Together, let's not only enjoy a great night of volleyball, but also remember that our support for one another doesn't end when the final whistle blows. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected and assigned according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and Greater Western Ohio Conference. Tonight's officials are Keith Cooley and Andre Howard. To honor our country and the freedom that the Stars and Stripes represent, please stand and remove your hats and join us in the playing of the Star Spangled Banner. Now let's meet our fifth. Number 2, Ariana Thornton. Number 3, Freya Burton. Number 4, Lily Mercer. Number 5, Sophia Moore. Number 6, Logan Stevens. Number 7, Sanaya Stevenson. Number 8, Evan Rose. Number 9, Madison Helton. Number 10, Ariana Gordon. Number 11, Rainier Lewis. Number 12, Maggie Stewart. Number 15, Reed Harrison. Number 16, Raven Muir. Number 18, Brianna James. Head coaches for Springboro are listed down, led by Mark Lehman, Tess, Unger and Kaden Grimes. Now let's meet our finalists. Number 1, Haley Hill. Number 2, Maddie Hall. Number 3, Miley Cassidy. Number 4, Faye Osborne. Number 5, Calista Coons. Number 6, Riley Harvard. Number 7, Samantha Webb. Number 8, Brianna Hayes. Number 9, Jamie Johnson. Number 10, Megan Roper. Number 12, Keziah Daniels. Number 14, Jenna Hall. And number 28, Tiana Dodson. Northmont is led by Matthew Brightenfall, with Paige Birdsall, Helena Trivia, and Pooja Hartman.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the Thunderdome for what should be a fantastic matchup between our Northmont Thunderbolts and the Springboro Panthers, coming all the way up. I don't know, it's about a 45 or so minute drive from Springboro. A little bit of a trek. Closer to an hour, actually, now that I think about it. It's 45 minutes from MBCC, which is in Centerville. That's the place where I ended up doing my podcast. And it's about 15 minutes further south from there. So that is quite a little trek for a conference matchup. As we are getting ready to start things off, before we actually do start things off, let's take a look at some season stats presented by Express It and our man Jamichael Blanton. You see the records: 8-8 to 10-5. The G-Walk records: 5-5 to 9-1. The Panthers have been phenomenal so far this season. And you look at the kills, very, very even. 585 to 582. Your Bolts lead that one by 3, and then a little shocking how big the discrepancy is between on the blocks right there. 141 for the Bolts, 72 for the Panthers. So you can tell that Northmont has quite a bit of athleticism to be able to make things happen there along the front line. That should be a storyline all night long. Huge shout out to our friends over there at Express It. I'll go ahead and give them an official ad read as of now. Express It is a local apparel company started here in the Dayton, Ohio area. Our man Jamichael Blanton is the owner and operator. If you're trying to get some Express It gear, you guys, there's 3 different ways to contact them. You guys can see it there on the screen. 937-369-0222. Sales at expressitathletics.store or www.expressitathletics.store. And without further ado, we are getting ready to get this thing going. You see Abels is going to start off the serve, sends it over the back line, or excuse me, that was the front line by the Bolts. They're able to get one down right there in between all of the defense. Freya Broken was the Panther who sent it over on that last volley. Now we have Abel serving again. Back line there. That's broken yet again. So a 1-1 start. Hall, and then Abels was trying to keep that one going right there near the net. Was unsuccessful. So the 10-5 Panthers quickly on top here. The set by Abels to Johnson, set a little too strongly. Johnson elevates, but she's on her way back down by the time she can get a fingertip on that ball. As you guys can see, our Thunderbolts, they're in some different jerseys tonight than what we're used to seeing. Kind of the blue and green there. I like it. And I said senior night earlier. My apologies. I was misinformed. It's actually suicide prevention night, which those colors make way more sense. The pink and the teal, or the, what would that be? Violet and teal over there on the railing, as that one's gonna go out of bounds. 5-2, the Panthers lead. 4-2. I'm sorry, I thought I thought that the scoreboard was behind me. Instead, I was behind it. Hill keeps it alive. A nice attack there by Johnson. The punch over by the Panthers. The fake by Johnson. They go all the way across the court to Hall, and she's able to score that one. And Johnson, after the set there by Abel, she pounced on that one and kind of got a good chunk of the defense off guard. They were all going after her instead of now the Panthers on the serve. Back to Osborne. And that point is going to go to Northmont. The serve there by that was Megan Roper. Serving now the Panthers. Roper comes in, dive in to try and save it. A little bit too much power on that one. It flies into the net. 7-4. The Panthers lead this one early. Another serve here. Roper this time able to save it and get it over the net. And then a dive there by Reagan Dirth. Keeping it alive, number 16, the libero for the Panthers. And that one ends up going into the red and white marker, the end line. Hall on the serve. Pushed up, and Orlo got it over this time. And aggressive attack that time by Harwick. And she's going to be able to score that one off of the block attempt. Another serve here by Hall. That time over the middle, Logan Stevens. Number 6 sent it over and was able to score that one. Given, back to serve now. The little throw over there by Abels. Too strong, great read there by Hill. That one goes out of the back line. Reese Arcuri, number 15, was the one to send that one over the net. Hill now back serving. The kill attempt kept alive by Stevens. Pushed up in the air there by Dearth. 8-8. Northmont has charged all the way back and tied things up. Another serve here. Arcuri gets it over. The setup, Abel's going all the way across court to Harwick, off of the fingertips of Arcuri. And it's going to come down. Excuse me, it's going to land out of bounds. Pushed up in the air that time by Mercer. And they're going to be able to tie it back up. Nice set there. And then they're going to say that someone was a little bit too far over the line. The point goes to Northmont. Pushed high up in the air by Mercer. Hall, Abels gets it over. Excuse me, the setup for Johnson. I don't even know if the defense knew that Johnson was coming in. Abels set that one so quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for those technical difficulties, but I think we just got them straightened out. Thunderbolts with a 3-point lead right now. Harwick able to control that one. Hill, right back to Harwick. They get it over. Arcuri was the one to get that one over for the Panthers. Soft tap there by Osborne. And a couple of different Panthers just going to watch that one crash to the ground. Substitutions now for Northmont as Hoff will check in for Harwick. Set up by Mercer. Arcuri. The dive by Hoff keeps it going. Hall now, soft tap in between all of the defenders. Good hustle there by Arcuri to keep it alive, but not enough to let one of her teammates come up and be able to keep it going. 15-10, Hoff into the net. Just gonna cut back into that lead a little bit. Surrey. Hall puts it up in the air. The setup, back tap to Johnson. Through the block attempt by Freya Broken. Gonna be able to score that one. Back up by 5. Time out Panthers. They're gonna want to talk things over, and since we got a minute here on the NM Sports Network, we're gonna go ahead and do a couple more sponsor shout outs because we got started a little late here today. So first, we're going to talk about our friends over there at the alumni tournament. If you guys have ever watched the TBT, it's a lot like that, but it has to do with the high school you went to versus the college. 64-team single elimination tournament, 8 regions across the state of Ohio. The best high school teams, best high school alumni teams that you could think of are all going to be coming together for a chance to win $50,000. All that is coming up August 2026. So should be a lot of fun. You guys will continue to get more information on that as we get closer. And then gonna go ahead and talk about our friends over there at Bluebird Construction. Bluebird, you need your house remodeled, you need your roof redone, they can do all of that. Go ahead and search up bluebirdohio.com. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring us here on the NM Sports Network. The set there by Abels, elevating his Daniels. It's going to be blocked, but it will go right to the feet of the Panthers. 6-point lead here in set number 1. Johnson back to serve again. Pushed up by Arcuri. Mercer. Arcuri now from well beyond half the midline there on the Panther zone. The block attempt there by Hall, not strong enough. So finally the Panthers will score again. Another point quickly scored by the Panthers. 9-1 in conference. You didn't think this was going to be easy, did you? 17-13. Back serving Sophia Moore. Strong serve. Hill, Abels, set up for Osborne. It's going to be blocked right back to the Northmont side. Logan Stevens is able to get the block that time. And now a timeout by the Bolts. Quick little run right there by the Panthers. And Coach Breidenball wants to talk about things again. All right, so back here inside the Thunderdome, getting ready to start things off after the timeout. The serve there by Moore. Hill, the setup for Hall, the soft tap. Mercer kept it going. Pushed over again. Abels, the back tap. Osborne gets it over. Mercer. That one was over to Thornton. To the back line, kept alive, but that one is going to go over the scores table and out of bounds. Substitutions now for Northmont. Roper will check in and Osborne will check out. There you see Roper on the serve. Elevation there by Daniels along the front line. The tap back was a little too strong, which allowed Daniels to elevate and smash that one down on top of the heads of the Panther front line. Roper, serve, diving everywhere to keep it alive. Fantastic job there by our Surrey. Roper, a dive to get it back over and keep things going. Abel's the punch over. Mercer, the setup. Now our Surrey, the runner. Oh, and Roper got in the way. You see her and Hoff kind of look at each other as soon as she got a fingertip on it. She's like, oh no. She didn't know that Hoff was right behind her and in perfect position. That point will go to Burrow. The serve now. Abel's the setup. Tapped over by Hall. Our Surrey, out of bounds. Great job over there along the sideline. Whichever Thunderbolt that was, that may have been Roper. Roper now pushes this one over, going down to the knees. Panthers are able to keep it alive, and they keep that one inside. Bree Given will be credited with that. Served by Given. Set up by Abels. Daniels goes back line. And someone was a little too close to the net yet again for the Panthers. Having some unorthodox mistakes here. Daniels checks out. Harwick checks in. The Panthers will find the soft spot and get past, and will score that point, keeping it within 4. The serve there by Darth. Kept alive by Mercer. The push by our Surrey. It's going to go off the net and come down out of bounds. It's a little punch shot there by our Surrey, and just a little inaccurate. She gets her hand an inch lower, and that one goes over the net, but instead into the net. And another timeout for the Panthers. Tap over, kept alive by Osborne, and then Abels is going to go under the net. Johnson, back line, just keeps it in. You gotta love the precision on that attack. Now Hoff back to serve. Arsuri blocked. That was Broken, who was rejected. Abel's the setup, goes cross court. Hall back line. Arsuri nearly goes into the front row, and you see the fans sitting there in red, trying to dive out of the way. Another serve by Hoff. This one too strong. Diving. Hoff keeps it alive. The tap over by Johnson. Elevates. Nice job to avoid the block attempt there by Johnson. She's going to tap this one over now. Mercer. Given with the authority. It's going to go through the arms of Johnson. Arsuri to serve. Hoff keeps it going. The setup by Abels. Pushed over by Hall. Given. Absorbed by Hill. And that one's going to come down out of bounds. The block by Broken. And that is going to do it. Northmont wins set number 1, 25-20. We're going to have a little break here on the NM Sports Network. We're going to play you guys in one of our commercials, and we will be back here on the NM Sports Network after that.
Some of the notable challenges of a project of this size is just the project management of everything, the timing of everything. Obviously, it's a massive excavation, so you want to plan properly so that you don't dig and then you get a week and a half of rain. Starting these projects the right time of year is key, and once you open up excavation, is get it closed back as fast as possible.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here inside the Thunderdome for set number 2. Your Thunderbolts took set 1, 25-20. Looked good from start to finish. Got off to an early lead. Things went back and forth there in the middle parts of the set. By the time we reached, 10? About 10 points on the board each team. Then the Bolts started to get into a roll, started to find their groove. Things started to work out. I'll tell you what, man. I don't know how Tommy Trumpets doesn't get absolutely everyone hyped up. So I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. Since we got a quick minute, gonna go ahead and give a quick shout out to our friends over there at Bluebird Construction. You need your home remodeled, you need your roof redone. Call our friends over at Bluebird, bluebirdohio.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring us this season. And just like that, we are out and we are ready for set number 2. Abels, the setup after the serve by the Panthers. Our Surrey gets it over to Given, goes back line. And that point will go to the Bolts. That one was very close. Now Abel's back to serve after the 1-0 lead for the Bolts. Diving, not able to keep that one alive. And let's see if we can get a look at this, how close that one was to the line. See Given. Oh, maybe I should have slowed that one down a little bit. Coming out of that. Our Surrey back line. Keeps it going. Hill. Harwick. She was out of bounds when she pushed that one in. Kind of skipped over the net. Far side. Given. Blocked by Osborne. Still on the Bolt side. Another attack there by Harwick. She's got some authority tonight. Hill goes flailing through the air to keep it going. Haley Hill doing it again. The setup by Abels. Harwick with some power. Gets it past the front line, through the front line, and down. Diving. Keeping it alive. And Johnson with the authority. The serve there by Abels. Mercer pushed over. And the Panthers are going to get on the board for the first time. Back to serve. It's Bree Given. Abels. Harwick finds the opening. And I will tell you what, man. She is looking like a different player so far through the first set and some. Hoff. That one's going to get through the block. Broken will score that one. She will check out now. Sophia Moore will check in. She will be serving. Hoff to set up now by Abels. Hall, way too much on that one. 5-3 now. Moore Gets this one away. Hoff up in the air. Johnson, that one's going to bounce off the net and come back over. There's a really nice block there by our Surrey on the top line. Kind of sent it back to the Northmont side, and there really was not much that the Bolts could do there. Hoff keeps it going. Receives the serve. And a really nice job there by Osborne. Able to find the soft spot. 6-4. Johnson goes back to serve. Panthers will receive it. Johnson leaning forward and will keep it going. Mercer, Arcuri, another dive there by Hoff, but this time it's going to kind of fly into the stanchion. Osborne not able to control it over there. Point goes to the Panthers. Hall towards the net. Mercer, the setup, absorbed by Hill. Hall, a one-handed push. Hoff all alone. Not able to move fast enough. Abels. Hill. Hill keeps it alive. The setup now by Abels. Over to Hall. Mercer sets up Arcuri. Blocked right back at him. That one is too strong. It's going to go out of bounds. The point will go to the Panthers. They have their first lead here of set number 2. Now serving Orlo. Abels the setup for, that was Osborne. Hall now, another setup by Abels. Daniels through the block. It's going to go over top of the front line and then die in between the first and the second lines. Cassidy serving this time. Arcuri, and that, you really see she is really good with that soft tap. She's pretty tall. You think that she's going to try to bring down the hammer, and when she instead brings the finesse, kind of gets defenders off guard. Hoff not able to control that one and accidentally pushes it out of bounds. 9-7. The Panthers lead. Hoff absorbs the serve. Hall gets it over. Set up for Given. Hill. The push over by Abels. Mercer blocked right back at him, and a double tap by Orlo. And you can hear the JV squad screaming, getting loud about that one. Hall back to serve. Dug out there by Arcuri. The soft tap. Daniels, she was on her way down. She was able to keep it alive. Mercer goes cross court. It's blocked. Given. Miley Cassidy diving almost face first into the stand. She slides much farther, and she's going to get a face full of metal. I'm glad she was able to slow down in time. There was going to be a substitution, but instead it looks like we're going to have timeouts on the floor. So, since we got that, go ahead and give a shout out to another one of our sponsors here on the NM Sports Network, Code Credit Union. One good reason after another to be rocking with us here on the NM Sports Network all year long, and our friends over there at the Code Credit Union. 937-222-8971. We appreciate you guys for sponsoring us this season, and if you're trying to do business there at the Code Credit Union, that is how you get a hold of them. 937-222-8971. Coming out of the timeout, Panthers lead by 2. Substitutions now for the Panthers. As Broken is going to check in, and checking out is going to be Sophia Moore. Serve that time by the Panthers. Gotten over. Hills flails up in the air, keeps it going. Cassidy is going to push it over. Mercer, the setup. And Given, I don't know, she tried to go with the finesse that time and kind of completely missed the ball. Sends it into the net. Haley Hill back to serve. A little bit of a miscue between the Panthers as two of them went after that one. They find the empty part of the defense, and they're able to just sneak that one in on the line. Cassidy. And I was waiting to see which way that one went. I wasn't sure whether it hit the line or stayed in. They're going to say it stays in. Beautiful job working the edge by the Bolts that time. Abels back to serve. Pushed up in the air by the Panthers. Broken. Waiting for the call, and it goes to the Bolts. Tied back up at 11. Abels on the serve again, up by Mercer. Soft tap by Given. Now Osborne, too strong, and that one goes out of bounds. I didn't need to wait that time for the officials to give their ruling. That one was obvious to me. Given back to serve. And Hill evacuated the proper position. She was right there to be able to make the play. Took a step or so too far up in the zone, and it's going to come down. Another serve by Given. Too strong. Trying to go on a 3-0 run, instead gives one right back to Northmont. Substitutions, as Harwick is going to check out, and Hoff is going to check in for the Bolts. And another score by Northmont. Every time the Panthers try to get away, Northmont just pulls them back in. Hoff on the serve. Mercer. Deflected. Thornton wasn't able to get it over. She got blocked. And then the Bolts will be able to score yet again. (14-13). Hoff serving again. That time it was Ruiz. And they're going to be able to score it. Looks like serving this time will be Sophia Moore. She gets this one over. Hoff takes the serve. Hall comes from out of bounds, sends that one through the front line. Thornton not strong enough to stop that one. 15-14 Bolts lead. Johnson on the serve this time. Ruiz over to Arsuri. It's going to bounce off the net. And that is going to be enough of a ricochet that no Bolt is going to be able to get to that one. Landed right in the middle of the defense. Serving now Orlo. Ables to set up. Osborne the kill. You see, she's excited. She knows her Bolts are playing up to potential. Cassidy will serve. Mercer goes far side to Arsuri. Diving Hill keeps it alive. And Cassidy gets it over. A pushover. Got to be careful about not running into that net. Daniels is blocked. Ables pushes it across court. Hall was able to get it over. Now the pushover by Arsuri. Another one by Abelson all the way across court for Hall. Diving to keep it going. Arsuri will do so. Now Hill, another set for Hall. She keeps it alive after the block. Cassidy, everyone's just knocking this one around. And that would be a 4-hit. Jenna Hall kind of got a little bit of a miss hit, which sent Cassidy going out of bounds, and there was no way that she could have sent that one back over. Knotted up here at 16. Arsuri on the save. Throw over by Ables. And they're going to give that point to Springboro. Didn't see what the call was that time. Another serve by the Panthers. I feel like that one just barely got its way over the net. Hoff. Ables pushes it across court. Hit Hall. Given, back line. And Hoff not quick enough. Springboro has pushed it out to a 2-point lead. Timeout on the floor for the Thunderbolts. Take a quick break here on the NM Sports Network. So coming out of the break here on the NM Sports Network. Too strong there by Arsuri, and a great read there by Haley Hill. Now Jenna Hall will be back serving. Into the net. 19-17. Springboro leads. Abel sets it up. Daniels is blocked. It's sent right into the net and will crash back down to the floor. 20-17. Springboro is looking to try and take set number 2. The server, Regan Dearth, diving, not able to save it is the libero, and Harwick got the Thunderbolts back in the scoring column. Haley Hill now will be back to serve. Substitution as Daniels will check out. Dearth and Given almost ran into each other, or make that Arcuri. It's gonna come down on the Northmont side. Scored there by the Panthers, so back up 3. Served there by Mercer. Harwick. Set up this time is Mercer. I think Johnson got a piece of it on the way down, and Harwick was not in the proper positioning. Another timeout. And since we're taking a timeout, we're going to go ahead and show you some of what we got coming up next over the next week or so here on the NM Sports Network. Well, tomorrow night we got girls soccer back here at Premier Health Stadium. That one starts, that says 7:17, my apologies, it should say 7:15. Tomorrow night here at, like I said, Premier Health Stadium. And then on Thursday, we travel to Fairmont, to Trent Arena for some girls volleyball. That one should be a lot of fun. And then the next night, Friday, October 3rd, we are gonna be back at Fairmont, this time at Roush Stadium, for what should be a really good football game between our Thunderbolts and the Firebirds. Done a lot of games at Roush Stadium. It's one of my favorite places to get to do high school football, so I absolutely cannot wait. But back here after the timeout, Bolts trailing by 4. Johnson. Does it come down in or out? And they're going to say it comes down inbounds. Abels. Back to serve. Northmont's got to make up some ground. They're going to come back and win this one. Dive by Dearth. Arcuri will get it over. Hill. Abels to back tap to Johnson. Mercer. Dearth. And then Given is able to put that one right there on the corner. Hall not able to keep it alive. Excuse me, make that Hill. Out of bounds, great awareness there by Harwick. Speaking of, she is back serving now. Given. Mercer to Thornton, and that one is way too strong. Back to within 2. Into the net, gives it right back. Running out of opportunities here. More to serve. 2. That one's gonna go wide. I almost said too strong, but it wouldn't have been too strong, just a little off to the left. Jane Johnson, she thought it was her turn to serve instead. It's her turn to sub out. Megan Roper comes back in. Arsuri, Mercer, right back to Arsuri. Hoff absorbs that one, goes over to Hall. Ricocheted high up in the air, pushed. And that's just unfortunate as Roper on a back pedal had to do something to keep it alive. She wasn't able to get it up high enough for her teammates to be able to get a good hit. That caused, I believe it was Osborne, to dive there over the middle. And then, was it Harwick? Wasn't quick enough, or they didn't get a good enough hit on it to be able to get it back over, and Hall just kind of had to watch it die in the net. So that is going to do it for set number 2. Springboro takes it 25-22. Gonna take a quick break here on the NM Sports Network, and we will be back after these messages.
Growing up, I kind of felt like there was a lot that I held in and couldn't express, so that's kind of where it generated from. But, you know, now it's connected to the youth in so many different ways. Being a product of the city and having that competitive spirit, but sometimes it being overshadowed with envy and hate. And I want to be the one to break that cycle so that the light can shine on everybody. Seeing people rock with Express it definitely, it makes me feel like I'm making a difference, especially those of us in the Black community. We all got this competitive spirit. Seeing them represented, I mean, it's always a great feeling. And it's also an honor because it's like they see something in me that they relating to. It's so much more than just the game of basketball or, you know, school or education. This is people's lives, you know what I'm saying?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in here on the NM Sports Network as set number 3 is underway. Abels with the setup, the pushover there by, that was Osborne. Diving, Hill and Harwick nearly just bumped heads as they both went for the same ball. Harwick. Now Hall. It's going to be Harwick again. Playing hot potato. Thornton. Backline. Hall. Abels. Osborne. With strength sends it to the back line. And that one's going to come down right on the line. Very close, but they're going to give it to the Panthers. 2-0. Springboro with the early lead here in the set. Lily Mercer. And I think the Panthers were out of rotation, because that's a free point for Northmont. And they will now get the serve. And there was a little discussion right there between the Springboro head coach and the officials. Looks like Springboro's coach is just a little confused as to what the call was. Hoff on the serve now. Dearth. Rejected. Broken. Jaden Johnson. Who else coming up with a big-time block? Hoff will serve again. Mercer, the setup. It's a back tap. Kept up in the air, and no one's going to be able to control that one. Haley Hill almost sent that one up to the track where we're standing. Not in our direction, but that one went high up into the air, and her teammates chased her, well out of bounds for basketball. Chased the ball, I guess I should say. Abels, oh my goodness, I don't know how they kept that one going. Springboro will score that one. Hall. Tapped over that time by Arcuri. And it looked like Thornton and Broken neither knew what to do on that one. Ball just kind of came down in between the two of them. Mercer, Arcuri. It's going to be blocked, and it's going to go out of bounds. That point goes to Springboro. Oh, and actually, looks like we had a libero switch. Let it be noted that the new libero is Sophie Moore. Wearing that number 5 jersey. Hill is able to control the serve. Now she'll send it over. Her and Osborne playing hot potato. And a beautiful job there. The setup. And Given comes flying in. I don't know if any of the Thunderbolts saw her. That's a backline attack. Bringing the heat. Abels pushes this one up. Osborne. Now Arcuri gets it over. Another setup. Abels. Hall. Soft tap. Mercer keeps it going. Arcuri. Past the block attempt of Osborne and Daniels, and then between Abels and Hall. Perfect positioning. Osborne will check out for Northmont, and in comes Sam Ruddle for the first time. In the new jerseys, Sam Ruddle is the only one who's wearing a different number than we're used to seeing her in. She is normally wearing number 5. She's wearing number 7 today, which works out because Callista Kuntz is out with injury. Hope for a quick recovery for her. Saved by Hill, and a fantastic job not going over the boundary. Daniels, Hill, Hall. Hall keeps it alive. Tapped over by Thornton, which, I don't know, maybe she should have let that one go. Blocked, Arcuri. Abels was trying to control that one. A lot of heat incoming, though. She's not able to control it, and it'll bounce at her feet. Hall, too strong. That one's 2 or 3 feet out of the back line. Timeout, Northmont trailing 9-3. Here, midway through midway through set number 3. And since we got a moment, we're gonna do a sponsor shout out. Shout out to our friends over at the Alumni Tournament, a 64-team single elimination tournament that's gonna take place here in Ohio. It's gonna be 8 regions across the state, 8 teams per region. And all 64 teams are gonna be competing for a chance to win $50,000 and prove that they are the best alumni team in Ohio. Should be a lot of fun. We will be giving you guys more information as that gets closer. Tournament will be happening August 2026, so keep an eye out for all of that. And since we got another second, shout out our friends over there at Bluebird Construction. You need your home remodeled, you need your roof redone, call Bluebird Construction or text or search them up, bluebirdohio.com. Back to the action. Hall is blocked. Thornton is going to be the one who picks up the block. (10-3). Off. Hill puts it up for Hall. It's blocked. Diving was Hoff. It's going to go out of bounds, though. Great job by Logan Stevens, number 6. Find the soft spot. Ruddle will check out now. Osborne takes her place. Hill sends it right back over. The back tap to Thornton. Looks like there's a net violation against Northmont. 12-3. The Panthers trying to run away with this one. Served again. Great spatial awareness by Haley Hill. Goes over her head and out of bounds. Northmont's going to have to go to work. They're going to want to have a chance to win this second set. This third set, rather. Roper will be serving. Mercer, the setup. Arcuri blocked, kept alive. And I think they're going to say that was more of a palming right there. I don't know what the official call is, but say that she kind of scooped that one, I guess. Mercer, too strong, out of the back line. Bree Given, not able to triangulate any part of the playing surface. Roper, Mercer, Arcuri. Hogg is able to punch that one up and get it over. This one bounces off the net, and it goes to Northmont. Another serve by Roper. Mercer, Arcuri goes back line. Hill dives and keeps it alive. Flying out of bounds was Abels. Flying into the bench. Oh my goodness. That was Thornton. Glad she looks to be okay. Her, along with Moore, were both crashing towards the bench. Moore was able to pull up. Thornton, I don't know if she knew where she was. Mercer, the setup, soft tap, Hall. Abel's now gonna set up. Was that Daniels? Yes, it was. Blocked now by Abels, but it's gonna get past her and drop in behind her. Nice little run there by Northmont. Get them back into this one. 5-0 run. And now just trailing by 5. Hill. Abels with the setup, and that one a little too strong for Jenna Hall. Just comes down out of bounds. Orlo. Hall gets it over. Hoff keeps it going. Another attack there by Jenna. Surrey's able to get it over. A setup now for Abels. Hall, she made the defense think she was going middle. Instead, she pushes it back towards the outside. And then Springboro, the stick-to-itiveness. Will score that one, 15-18. Hall, soft tap. Surrey. Abel set up for Daniels, and no one's going to be able to crash to the floor in time. 15-9. The Bolts trailing by 6. Hall is back to serve. Stevens. And then, excuse me, that was Moore with the setup, and then Stevens with the kill. Now back to serve. Reese Surrey. Daniels can't control that one. It's going to go out of bounds to the fan side. And then a timeout on the floor.
Some of the notable challenges of a project of this size is just the project management of everything, the timing of everything. Obviously, it's a massive excavation, so you want to plan properly so that you don't dig and then you get a week and a half of rain. Starting these projects the right time of year is key, and once you open up excavation, is get it closed back as fast as possible.
Substitution is given. Will check out, and in checks. I didn't see the number. I'll get you the number once I see it. Serve though by Surrey. Abels with the setup, goes cross court to Harwick, diving. Roper keeps it alive. Hill gets it over, and then it will come down. It's Emma Bowman, number 8, who checked in for the Panthers. Another serve. Maybe Hall could have let that one go, but it was close. A throw over by Abels. Mercer. Bowman gets it over now. Abels the back tap to set up her teammate. Roper gets it over. Blocked. Surrey. And she's going to be able to get it back over. Fantastic job by the Panthers that time. Bowman goes back line. Cross court, and a great job there by Harwick. She goes with the finesse instead of the power, gets it past the defense, but a great job by Logan Stevens and our Surrey, and maybe it was Mercer. No. Make it Orlo. All three of them, like, I think it was Stevens and Orlo were able to dive out of the way, which made it so our Surrey could get it back over on that last possession. Our Surrey off of Johnson. Johnson not squared up good enough. The block is unsuccessful. Gonna come down on the Northmont side. 9-point lead for Borough. Northmont's gonna go on a big run here. Digs that one out, pushes it over. And that's interesting. I tell you what, it looks like, if you guys are big football fans, it looks like Springboro, their volleyball team is running stunts. Like, you're getting the setup right there in the middle by Mercer, and then like Broken and Bowman, they're like switching sides, a little bit of a weave. You don't know where the attack is coming from. Harwick not able to save that one. 21-10. The Panthers lead. Moore to serve. Hall able to set up for Johnson. Back line, and it's going to get between Moore and our Surrey. If you're the Thunderbolts, the time is now to go on that run. Abels is serving. No one home after Moore was able to receive the serve. Lily Mercer came in late trying to do something, but not in time. Abels on the serve. Bowman, back line, and comes down. 22-12. The margin still shrinking. Margin for error, I should say, for the Thunderbolts. Madison Helton checks in to serve now. With the setup, it's Abels. Broken, nearly ran into a teammate. Bowman sends it over into the middle of the Northmont defense. Hill dives in, but not quick enough. 23-12. Panthers just 1 point away from set point. Hill goes to the floor. Abels, and into the net. Harwick, not enough on that one. Panthers have doubled up the bolts. Match point. Set point, rather. Abels set up. It was a bad setup, but Johnson is able to save it. Moore over to Bowman. Hall gets it, it keeps it going, diving. They're not going to be able to send this one over. Oh, they will, and they find the soft spot in the defense. Nobody was home that time. Rough way to end that one if you're the Thunderbolts. And the Thunderbolts just ran off the court. Are they maybe switching jerseys? Not 100% sure what's going on with that, as all of the Thunderbolts are going back to the locker room, it looks like. I'm going to play you guys a commercial and try to figure out what exactly is going on here inside the Thunderdome on the NM Sports Network. Borough leads 2-1 after taking set number 3, 25-12.
Growing up, I kind of felt like there was a lot that I held in and couldn't express, so that's kind of where it generated from. But You know, now it's connected to the youth in so many different ways. Being a product of the city and having that competitive spirit, but sometimes it being overshadowed with envy and hate. And I want to be the one to break that cycle so that the light can shine on everybody. Seeing people rock with Express it definitely, it makes me feel like I'm making a difference, especially those of us in the Black community. We all got this competitive spirit. Seeing them represented, I mean, it's always a great feeling. And it's also an honor because it's like they see something in me that they relating to. It's so much more than just the game of basketball or, you know, school or education. This is people's lives, you know what I'm saying?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of that break between sets, I really have no clue why Northmont ran out of the gym. They came right back just a couple minutes later, ready for this next set. Johnson brings the power. Northmont's going to start off with the lead. Back serving is Abels. Gets this one away. Broken, too strong, Abels. Oh, what? Did they say she touched it? Oh, my. We're going to take a look at it here in a minute on the NM Sports Network. I do not understand that one. She did her best Neo impression, but evidently it was not good enough. Serve now by Given. That one's going to go out of bounds. Let's go ahead and take a look at it here on the NM Sports replay. An attack there by Broken. Can't really tell from our replay. Tied up after that point at 2 apiece. Substitutions for Springboro. Hoff, Johnson, that one's going to go into that. Maddie Hoff didn't get a good piece of that serve. She's trying to receive it, and Johnson, after that, was just in bad positioning. Serve for Dearth. Hoff dives in, can't scoop it up. Hoff, once again, cannot keep it going. Harwick, Abel's the setup. Johnson, that one's gonna go out of bounds. Arsuri, gotta watch out. She nearly dove into the official's ladder stand. I don't know what exactly you want to call it. Johnson back to serve. Hall with the authority. Sophia Moore. That was a really powerful serve there by Johnson. Moore accidentally sent it right back over, and Jenna Hall was waiting on that one. Gonna be able to get that one past the front line of the Thunderbolts. Another good setup there by Mercer. 6-4, the Panthers lead. Hall diving in, Moore not quick enough. 6-5, the Thunderbolts fight back. Cassidy is back to serve. Mercer with the setup, soft tap. Stevens gets it down right in front of the net. Arsuri. Hill. Now Hall. Nice job by Cassidy to launch that one over the net. Arsuri softly over the front line of Abels and Daniels. Set up by Abels, goes cross court to Hall, and a great job by Stevenson, just in the right spot. And a good timing there on her jump. Met Jenna Hall at the apex and sent it right back at her. Abels sets up Hall. She goes back line this time. Over to Given. Cassidy keeps it going. Hill fires it over. Mercer, Stevens back line. 6-6. That was Harwick. Blocked right back at the Bolts. Hill and Daniels. Hill keeps it alive, but Daniels not quick enough to the floor. 10-5. Springboro leads. Timeout. Coach Breidenball. Since we got a timeout here on the floor, we're going to go ahead and do another sponsor shout out. Our man, Jamichael Blanton, over there at Express It. Express It is a homegrown company here from the Dayton, Ohio area. But, I mean, even though they're homegrown, that doesn't mean that they're a small company anymore. He's starting to branch out. They're doing stuff in Atlanta, Chicago, Houston. That's the last thing I heard. I wouldn't be shocked if he's all across the nation by this point. Express It makes it phenomenal athletic apparel, and they've done the Northmont basketball warm-up gear, all sorts of different stuff. They've done warm-up gear for all of DPS, so they make fantastic products, And if you guys are looking to maybe purchase some of that fantastic product, 937-369-0222. Back to the action. Abel's the setup. Daniels goes cross court and is going to be able to find the floor. Hall on the serve. Rejected. That time it's Daniels again. Lead is cut to 3. Hall gets this one to the back line. Arsuri. Hill. The setup for Daniels. Arlo keeps it going. Given out of bounds. Nothing run for the Bolts. Back in striking distance, down just 2. Hall. Mercer set up, blocked by Harwick. Runner there by Orlo. Cross court to Harwick. Moore up in the air. Pushed over by Abels. The entire front line of the Panthers went to the far side of the floor to get ready for the block. And as soon as they clear that area, Abels is able to put the ball right there. Soft tap there by Given. And they're going to be able to score that one, get the lead back to 2. (11-9), Moore to serve. Abel set up for Daniels. Given, diving, Hill, not quick enough. 12-9, the Panthers lead. Serve received by Hall. Given got a piece of it, and if she doesn't, then Moore is in perfect position, but instead, Given taps it. Moore slides in behind her, and it's going to go right over her head. Haley Hill back to serve now. Arsuri. Given, blocked. And they're going to say last touch by Northmont. Comes down out of bounds on the Springboro side. Point goes to Borough, lead by 3. Serving is Mercer. Abel stows it forward for Johnson. Moore. She's able to keep it going after the block. Given, back corner. A lot of power there. Abel's able to get it over Cassidy, and then Johnson wasn't even ready for that one. Kind of flails her arm, gets it over the net with the ricochet, and it's going to come down. I mean, I guess if the Thunderbolts aren't even ready for it, how are the Panthers going to be? Abels. Controlled by Moore. Given. Hall able to dig it out. Harwick, back line. Moore dives. Arsuri, or no, that's Given again. And now she will be back to serve after the score. Jenna Hall not able to handle that one. It's coming in hot. Goes off of her hands and out of the back. Given, Hall, pushed over to Johnson, Moore, Mercer goes cross court, They weren't ready for that one. Given is able to keep it alive, and Moore will get it. Oh, a miscommunication between Mercer and Moore. Now they're just staring at each other after that one. That's got to be frustrating. Springboro's made a mistake or two that's made it so Northmont is able to stay in this one. Hoff, Mercer, pushes it up. Blocked by Osborne. Broken now. They go soft that time. It was Stevenson. Pushed over by Hall. Broken. Mercer. Thornton. Absorbed and got over by Hill. Oh, they're still alive. And Jalen Johnson. That one was coming right at her face. Kind of ducks out of the way. And Osborne can't scoop it up high enough. Serving now is Dearth, out of bounds. Oh, what? They're gonna say it hits the line. Oh, Osborne had to look out there as she was in Abel's way. Was able to relocate and they keep things going. Mercer to Stevenson. Hall or Hill to Hall. Back line, and it falls in right by the free throw line. Johnson back to serve. Haley Hill checks out. Daniels checks in. Mercer, the setup. Stevens will be able to score the point. Got Logan Stevens, number 6 for the Panthers. Sonia Stevenson, number 7 for the Panthers. Substitution for Springboro. Not 100% sure what happened there. Jenna Hall, that one was going towards the net. She had to try and get a piece of something. It's going to go out of bounds, 18-13. The Panthers lead. Now we're going to take a quick break here on the NM Sports Network. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the timeout. Hoff got a piece of it. Or let's say that was Harwick. And Haley Hill doing everything she can to try and keep it alive, but not fast enough to go get it. Substitution, Ruddle and Osborne will swap spots. Warlow on the serve. Hall gets it, keeps it alive. Then it will come down out of bounds. Warlow on the serve. Received by Hill. Abels to set up. Daniels, they'll be able to score that one. Cassidy will check in to serve. Ruddle checks right back out. Haven't seen a ton of Sam Ruddle here tonight. Or Cassidy, frankly. That one was very close, but they're going to say it comes down out of bounds right there along the Panther bench. Unfortunate there. Sonia Stevenson is going to check in to serve now for the Panthers. Hill, Abels now with the set to Hall. Orlow, no, that's given. I'm going to say it comes down out of bounds. Northmont is able to pick that one up. So only trailing by 6. 4 points to take the match for Springboro. There's an official stoppage now. It looks like the official's talking with one of the scorekeepers. Checking to see if the Panthers are in proper rotation, I believe. All right, so right back to the action. Don't even know what that was about. Orlow. Double hit there by Stevens. Madison Helton was the one who set it up for her, and then Stevens just kind of whiffed on that one. Stevens is able to throw that one over. Harwick, it's going to be deflected by Stevenson and comes down. Thunderbolts trailing by 4. Hall back to serve once again. Diving will keep it alive. Hill may not have needed to touch that one. We'll try to take a look at that here on the NM Sports Instant Replay. Oh, and it is real close. I don't know. That one might have come down out of bounds. Try and look at it one more time real quick. And you know what? After a third look at it, I am going to say that that's a great call there by Haley Hill. That one would have come down in bounds. Cassidy and Hall didn't know who was going to go after it. Now Hill gets it over. Moore, Helton, back line, diving Hill, and it goes out of bounds. 23-17, 2 points needed for Springboro to end up taking this matchup. Cassidy, good read that time. Abels, Harwick goes over the head of Hill, and I don't think it would have mattered because I think it just bounced off the net and it wasn't touched by a Panther. Moore back to serve. Abels, Harwick goes back line. Controlled by Moore. Over, given, up in the air. Abels sets it middle. No, sets it cross court. And Northmont fighting back. Once again, trailing by 6. Johnson checks in. Daniels checks out. Haley Hill will now have the serve. This one is away. Sonia Stevenson. Wasn't expecting that one. So Hill will score. 24-19. Another bad tap there by Stevenson. Northmont, or there, the Springboro will be able to keep it going. Abels to Johnson. They'll be able to score that one. Can Northmont make the comeback here in set number 4? Hill, Orlo, thrown over, and a great job that time. Was that Helton? Yes, it was. We did not see much of Madison Helton, but she comes in and makes one of the biggest plays of the game right there. Northmont was spreading out, trying to cover the entire defense, and instead they were unable, they weren't ready there for the little throw over. We normally see Brianna Abels do that. Instead, Madison Helton gets the last laugh. That was a fantastic matchup, and sadly, our Thunderbolts were not able to come out on top. Before we get out of here on the NM Sports Network, we're going to talk about some of the stuff we got coming up next tomorrow. Right back here, I guess not right back here, down the street, technically a little bit. We'll be over at Premier Health Stadium versus the Miamisburg Vikings girls soccer tomorrow night. It says 7:17, my bad, 7:15 start time. And then the next night, we will be at at Fairmont for a fantastic matchup between the two volleyball teams. Northmont will be looking back to get on the right side of the win column. Then Friday night, we will be also at Northmont. Instead of in Trent Arena, we'll be down the street at Roush Stadium for what should be a heck of a football game. That one Friday night at 7 o'clock here on the NM Sports Network. And then next Tuesday, boys soccer, my apologies, versus Wayne over at Premier Health Stadium, 7:15 start time. That is October 7th here on the NM Sports Network. But that is gonna do it here for us on the NM Sports Network. And as I say that, actually, I'll do a sponsor shout out real quick. The Alumni Tournament, 64-team single elimination tournament here in Ohio. There'll be 8 regions across the state, all 64 teams competing for a chance to win $50,000. Want more information on that? Stay tuned and we'll let you know. The tournament's taking place August 2026. Code Credit Union, one good reason after another to be rocking with us here on the NM Sports Network, and Code Credit Union all year long. 937-222-8971. Shout out to them. Bluebird Construction. Need your home remodeled, you need your roof redone, our friends over at Bluebird can hook you up. BluebirdOhio.com, huge shout out to them as well. And we cannot forget about our friend Jamichael Blanton over there at Express It. 937-369-0222 is how you can get a hold of them on the phone, or you guys can email them at sales@expressitathletics.store or www.expressitathletics.store online. And then I think that does it here for us on the NM Sports Network. We're going to go ahead and wrap everything up here, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Andy Horton signing off. That's all, folks.
Growing up, I kind of felt like it was a lot that I held in and couldn't express, so that's kind of where it generated from. But, you know, now it's connected to the youth in so many different ways. Being a product of the city and having that competitive spirit, but sometimes it being overshadowed with envy and hate. And I want to be the one to break that cycle so that the light can shine on everybody. Seeing people rock with Express It, it makes me feel like I'm making a difference, especially those of us in the Black community. We all got this competitive spirit. Seeing them represented, I mean, it's always a great feeling. And it's also an honor because it's like they see something in me that they relating to. It's so much more than just the game of basketball or, you know, school or education. This is people's lives, you know what I'm saying?